Oh, morning troops. Frosty one. I've taken a while to get set up this morning because it's you know what it is. I'm not even going to say the dreaded B word, but I've got to break this run of fish, so I've changed things up a little bit. As soon as I got here, just before first light, got my 2 dead bait rods out, left and right, and the middle rod I'm going to scale everything down. So what I've got, a very small slider, very light. It's that old, can't see what the weight is, but it's very, very light. The writing's all worn off. It's a Dren float. Very, very small bullet. If there's any flow in the drain, it'll bob it around, move it around on the deck. So I'm not into holding bottom with this rig. If it bounces around the swim or rolls downstream, I'm quite happy with that. Longest trace, and then I've got a single circle hook, and it's on a loop, so it can move in any direction, any way, anyhow. And on that, rather than hair rigging, there she goes. Baby roach. If there's jacks around, if the big girls are shy of big baits, or if there's big perch around, that's the idea. So yeah, I thought I'd change things up a little bit. So the centre rod I've changed up, and that way if I go to a river on another day, I can change that again and put a fixed float on and trot it through all the way downstream. So, but this drain's only 2 to 3 foot deep, and there's a lot of ice on there on the far bank, but the middle track is where you normally would fish to keep your bait deep enough away from the seagulls, so that's okay. So we've got plenty of water to fish at. I ain't had a touch yet, as we say, but I've only been fishing 10-15 minutes. I was hoping for an instant hit, as you always get sometimes on a drain when you turn up. Not to be, but I say we've changed things up a bit now, and we're going to see if this little bit of magic works. I'll say good morning properly in a minute, and then I'll run through the swim with you. Yeah, it's a drain you're all familiar with by now. I mean, I love this place. I say it can be ultra hard. I mean, it is ultra hard. On this day, it can throw you up some 20s. I do love it. It takes a hammering from you know what and you know who, but it still produces goods for me season in, season out. The otters haven't decimated it either. It's not like some of the other drains up here where it's Jack City. There is some decent fish to be had. You can put up with the blanks. That dreaded B word again. So let's have a look. There's my left rod. See a little bit of ice forming around the float. That is a whole sardine, single curved hook, size 4 micro barb, static dead. That's mounted hair rig style. Going to move that in a minute. It's been out there a good half hour, 40 minutes. Look at the water clarity. It's clear. And that's the middle rod. That's me. I don't know what you term that. Jack of all trades, probably. I mean, it could take a jack, it could take a 20, it could take a perch. It's a very small roach mounted on a single circle hook. I don't know the size of a circle hook, so I'm not used to using it. I think it's a 2-stroke O. It's very, it's the smallest one I could see in the shop. It's red in colour, and it's not tied. It's on a loop. only trace wire, so it can move in any direction once it's in the fish's mouth. So that's me experiment. And there's the right hand rod all the way up over to the right, and that's a whole herring, again mounted on a size 4 curved hook, micro barbed hair rig style. And say the water's running downstream, it is running off, not powerful because I've only got a small weight on that middle rod and that held bottom absolutely fine, but it is flowing down. You can see all the ice out there now. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's got to be pike. There's got to be pike around here somewhere. Let's have some breakfast and dream about monsters. Yeah, proper good morning now, troops. I really looking forward to today. I was I've been been at work for at least 10 days in a row. It's hard to get out, so on the bank. It's a bit frosty. Wasn't too bad when I left the house. Oh, a couple of herons. 2 of them flying in tandem. They saw me and done a U-turn, sadly. So yeah, we left the house. It was only half a degree, so it was above freezing when I left the house at 6:15, 6:30. But as it tends to do, just around first light, you do get a dip in the old temperature, don't you? And the frost starts to really bite hard. So it was, by the time I'd set up at 7:30, it was -1. But it's not a bad day. I thought I'd try a drain rather than a river again. See if I can change my luck a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish this swim till midday. And if I ain't had anything out of here by midday, same drain. I've got a cunning swim up by a bridge that usually produces for me. Famous last words. But yeah, so midday here, no joy. Up sticks, second swim, and then we'll take it from there. But at the moment I've got 3 rods in. The drain's running off a little bit. It's still not down to its proper winter levels, you see. Normally, I'll show you the swim in a second, but normally I could virtually walk out to near enough where my rod tips are in the winter normally. But we've had a hell of a lot of rain pushing through here the last few weeks, so it's still running off. So there's a bit of ice, especially on the far bank. There's a little bit of ice forming in the margins this side, but the sun will be up in a minute, so I should imagine that'll all melt off and run off. Hopefully all that ice that melts will run off down the far bank and none will come down my way. But so we've got 3 rods in, slight change of tactics on the middle rod, see if that produces anything different. And yeah, it's all smiles, all happy. gonna break this blanking streak. It kills me. I'd like to thank everyone that's offered tips and hints and offered me places to fish. I do appreciate it. It's you all know, there's a lot of you have said you've been struggling this year since mid-December, and the weather's been fluctuating. It's been up and down. 1 minute it's cold, you get a couple of days cold, and you think, all right, it's going to settle down, and then all of a sudden it goes mild and windy and wet, and then all the rivers and the drains are too high and they're running off too much. Then you get another little period. So it's up and down, and if you're lucky enough to hit the right day on one of those spells, you're still going to catch. But sometimes it is a bit of a lottery getting out and getting amongst them when the weather's up and down all the time. But I say we've had a week of dry weather, a week of frosts, so I'm happy to be out. I think, well, I'm hoping that I'm going to catch. You always got to hope you're going to catch. bit strange how things go. I've done nothing but blank the last couple of months. But really, you know, it is almost 2 months. And every session I go out now, the kit seems to be breaking. The big 60-inch oval brolly, that went, didn't it, the other couple of videos back. I replaced that. I'll show you the replacement another day when it's when I need a brolly up. Yeah, it's a lovely brolly, but it doesn't have a centre pole, which is strange. It doesn't come with one. So, but you know, it comes with some storm poles and everything else in the pegs. But yeah, it doesn't come with a centre pole. But it's a cracking little, I say little, 60-inch oval. It's, you know, low rider. It's great. I'll show you when I put it up and run through that with you. Then I was moaning one of the last time about me Nash Siren S5s, the purple limited edition ones. They've all died a death. So I've had them a good few years. So I've replaced them with some a cheap set of Quorum ones. I think they're called KBI. They come with a receiver. They were, you know, 3 alarms and a receiver. They were quite cheap, about 60 quid. So it's only 20 quid an alarm, plus you get a receiver, so it ain't too bad. And today, my trusty Witchwood Solids chair, I've had a few years, don't get me wrong. The bar across the you know, you've got your 2 legs come down, you have a welded bar in the middle, don't you? Well, the weld's gone on that. Not completely gone. I've got to watch how I get up and down on it. It's starting to wobble, so I'm going to have to replace my chair now. Well, I say I probably won't. I've got about 3 or 4 chairs in the fishing room, so. But yeah, you know, you go through a stage, all my kit's falling apart on me now. Blanking, the kit's falling apart on me. What else is going to go wrong? I'll leave here and my car will break down or something. Yeah, but yeah, you know, we've been fishing about an hour. Had no joy. No signs of fish yet. Bit of a breeze. Sun's getting up, so that ice on the far bank should be melting and flying away soon. Hopefully it stays on that far bank. I don't want anything running down the drain through where I'm fishing, because I'm restricted with where I can fish at the moment. And if all of a sudden all sheets of ice start coming down, you know, I'll be snookered. So for the moment, I don't know what temperature it is. I'm going to have a look. It feels colder now than it did when I made those Winter Wonderland videos when it was -6 and 7. You know, it feels a bit colder today, but it's not. Nowhere near it. But yeah, tips of my fingers are a bit cold this morning. Now the tips of my toes are a bit cold, so. But it's nowhere near. You know, I mean, I should imagine it's about 0 or -1 at the worst. You know what I mean? Proper pike weather, as we would say. But we ain't had any proper pike fishing yet, have we? So let's crack on. For the fish. There we are, new swim. I hadn't had anything by 11:30, 12:15. That's 5 hours in a swim. Yeah, you know, could have sat there all day. Maybe I could have had a good afternoon. You never know. It's the gamble you're taking, like I always say. So basically, we've got 3 rods out, exactly the same baits and rigs as this morning. Only my little roach rig is on the right hand side, right next to the bridge. I'll show you the swim in a second. There's a lot. The sun shines right in my face. It might make filming a bit difficult, playing the fish, etc. But hopefully, it won't spoil your enjoyment too much, and hopefully, the sun will dip behind the clouds, and we're going to fill our boots in this swim. You know, it's a good swim normally, but how's the drain fishing? Is it fishing hard? Is it fishing okay? Obviously, just not on the fish. There's a little bit of ice on the far bank. There's a little bit of ice on the near bank. Not much. Plenty of water to go out. Got 3 baits in. Quite muddy underfoot down there, so I've got my rods down there. I'm sitting up here on the bank. Normally I'd have the rods up on the bank and just go down to land them, but it's a bit windy today. Fair old breeze blowing through. As I say, the sun's in our face. It's quite warm. Got 3 rods out. It's 12:30. They've got a good 4 hours to 5 hours of fishing time left. Gotta break this blank, troops. Gotta break this blank. I'd say that's very slowly, otherwise I wouldn't have said it at all. Not correctly anyway. There's the left hand rod. Whole herring, but big bait, about 10 inches long. Leave that out there for about half hour, then I'll chop the head off, get the juices flowing. That's on the left hand rod. Exactly the same method as this morning. The rods are down there, it's quite muddy, so I'll put the rods down there and I'm sitting up on higher up on the bank. The middle rods you can't see at all, the float. I do apologise, the sun is directly in my eyes. Anyway, it's in the middle of that sun patch. That's a whole sardine. You know, it really is going to make filming difficult. But this one can produce. And there's the left hand rod, sorry, the right hand rod. And there's the right hand rod. That's my little roach. Jack of all trades rig. Hoping to catch anything that swims, that eats fish. Even a big eel will do me. And that is smack bang mid-channel, centre of the bridge. Obviously I can move that around the parapet and far bank, near bank, etc. Or if I see any perch moving. But at the moment it's stuck there. Maybe a pike, maybe a perch. Hopefully not a blank. And there it is, it's gone. So it's laying flat on the floor and I'm sitting on it. The old weld's gone. Faithful service with quite a few years, over 10 years I've had that, but yeah, it's finally died a death. So it's laying flat and we'll sit on it. Oh yeah. We're in. As soon as it was put under the bridge. Ta-da! The blank has been broken. Tiny roach bait. Flicked under the bridge and wallop. Little Jack took it. Thank God for that. The monkey's off me back. It's party time. Where's the rest of them? It's a lovely little, very thin, very lean little pike. Bit of mouth damage on my side from a lure angler, but other than that, very, very cold. Been lying under that bridge waiting. Flicked a bait under there and the blank has been broken. Get in there. I've never been so pleased to see a jack in all my life. There's the little devil. Let's get him back. Oh. I have never been so pleased to have a jack before in all my days. Oh, that was a long hard run without a fish. I don't care how big it was or how small it was. I changed tactics today with that rod. I was fishing for the first hour or two in a little bay where the buttress of the bridge meets a drain outlet. There's a bit of a hole there, a deep hole. I've had loads of 20s out of it, so I kept casting that little roach into there. No joy, so I've got to change it up. And then I thought, sod it, go for it. Don't like fishing under bridges because you know, shopping trolleys, car wheels, all sorts in there. But I thought, go for it. So I just flicked it under there, and it wasn't under there 5 minutes. And the jack took it. Super jack.